Hello and welcome to my Animal Crossing review. My name is Melika and I'm super excited to show my island off to you guys. So there's lots of things I'm going to be talking about in this video, but as you can see I've got a lot of butterflies. So the first order of business is to sell them, and I'm going to sell them at this shop which is Nook's Cranny, which is the island shop. And the reason I couldn't sell them last night is it closes at 10 PM and I came back at 10:05. So this is Timmy and Tommy who run the shop, and they work for Tom Nook, who's the money-grabbing raccoon who is always stealing my bells, which is the currency of the island. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sell all these butterflies to them, and the butterflies I believe are worth 4,000 each, so if my calculations are correct, I should be getting 112,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all of them. So let's see what I'm going to get, come on! Yes, 112,000 bells. So that is a lot of money, and it's a lot more than I would usually get for selling stuff. So it's not enough to pay off the loan I've got out at the moment. So basically you have to take out loans every time you buy a house. But it's just the way things are, and I bought a new one last night, which means I've got an extra room in my house, which I'll be showing you off in a bit. But for now, I'm going to cut to Tom Nook start talking about the start of the day. So I recorded this at the start of the video, got started the game capture. So this is him explaining how we're getting a new resident services, which is the building that has various things. And this is my mailbox. So you check it every day to see what you've got. So this is a new resident of the island, and it's sent me something. So I have to open that. He actually opened it up. You can see it before in the previous video because I recorded this with the game capture before the first part. And this is another little present. So they were the leaf things you saw, as well as the butterflies. There was those two leaf shapes in my inventory. So that was those presents. And yeah, so this is just mail I get. And this is inside my house. So I'm going to show you around my new room. So as you can see, there's a room at the back of the house, which I haven't actually explored yet. So let's have a look inside and see what it looks like. I have no idea what size it's going to be. And oh, okay, so it's a fairly decent size. And I'm just going to pop my mirror back in the corner over here. So also you can't hold more than 99,000 bells at a time in your storage bag. So that's going to inventory the extra 99,000. And I'm also going to place my extra items that I got from my mail here in the corner. So I've got an amp, which I'm going to place here. And very conveniently, the other item went really well with it because the other item is a guitar. So I'm going to place that right next to the amp because I think they go together brilliantly. And I'm going to come back out to the rest of my room. Just wait for it to load. So yeah, it's a bit messy because I haven't really had a chance to reorganize it. But this is the room storage. So as you can see, I've got various things. And I'm now going to take out my crafting materials because last night when I went to the island to get the butterflies, I ended up dropping all of my tools there to make space for more butterflies. As I have a lot of crafting materials, I'm just going to remake all of my tools. So I'm going to get the necessary crafting materials to do so. And then, yeah, so the last thing I'll need is the iron nuggets. And then I'm going to go outside to my crafting table. So there's one in resident services, but that's closed today. But luckily, I already made my own one, so you can craft your own crafting table. So mine's pretty makeshift and small, but it'll do. So I'm just going to click on it, and then you can select the item that you want to make. So I'm going to select all of my tools, and I'm not going to show you me making all of them, because quite frankly, that would take forever. So the first thing, you can make flimsy versions of all the tools, and then you can also, once you've got those, you can make the better versions. Basically, just put iron nuggets on top of the flimsy versions of the tools. And I accidentally forgot to take wood out, so I'm going to have to go back into the house to get that. But I'll just cut to when I've done that. So there we go. I've got my wood now, so I can make my axe. And I'm going to make all the various tools that you can make. So the axe is one of the most useful ones because you can use it for chopping trees and for chopping rocks. A shovel's good for digging for things, which I'll show you a bit more about later. But yeah, I'm just going to sort of cycle through to when I have made all of my tools. So I'll have the axe, I'll have the shovel, I will have the net, I will have the ladder, the vaulting pole, and the fishing rod. And in the background, you can see one of my residents just walking past there. But I'll introduce you to the residents later. But this is all the items that I made, my tools. And I've still got my crafting materials there. And if I press up on my pad, I can sort of cycle through them without having to go into my inventory, which is convenient. And also, if I'm holding a particular item, I can then press left or right on the D-pad, which will cycle between the items without having to bring anything up on the screen, which is convenient if the items are next to each other, but not so convenient if you have to cycle through a few times. But with the net, I can catch various things that are bugs. So this is a butterfly, and there's plenty of different butterflies and bugs all around the island. So this is Celia, who's one of my neighbours, and I found her on a mystery island. So she wasn't one of the original island residents, she was just someone I found. This is Sylvia, and I've just caught her that butterfly we saw just there, so I can give her a present, because you can give presents to your residents, and it just makes them like you more, essentially. So, here you go, Sylvia. Sylvia the kangaroo. Have a beautiful tiger butterfly. Sorry about my left analog stick has some drift, which is really annoying, because sometimes it just moves without me telling it. Do you like your tiger butterfly, Sylvia? You do. Or what are you going to name it? What are you going to name it? Melika, of course you are. So I now have a butterfly named after me. And what have I caught here? A bee! So yeah, as I said, there's lots of different things you can catch. I really like having the different animals you can catch. This is Benedict, another one of my neighbours that I found on a mystery island. So this is his first day back on the island because he moved in yesterday. Cookie moved in the day before. I really like her. She's an aspiring pop star. I like that she's pink because I like pink. Oh, thank you, Cookie. See, she's my friend. And this is Genji's house. I'm not entirely sure if Genji's a man or a woman, but whoever they are, whatever they are, they love to work out. So pretty much all of their text is about exercise. And if you walk into the house and see them crafting, you're usually able to get the DIY recipe for whatever they're making. And the DIY recipe is what you need for crafting things. So this is for a jungle, which I believe I've already got. So, So yeah, so this is the text that you get when you've already got a particular item, but you still get to keep the DIY recipe and then you can sell it, and I think they sell for around 400 bells. I'm not sure if it's different per recipe or whatever, and I know it says to share it around so everyone else can do it, but you can't actually give away recipes to other residents. I have tried it. So I'm just going to take this to the shop to sell, which I've done. And this vaulting pole can be used to get across rivers, and I'm going to show you a bit more of my island now. So my different islands have different fruits, and when you start the game you'll be assigned a fruit at random. So the fruit I got is cherries, and when you sell cherries to my own shop, because I have cherries on my island, it will sell for 100, but non-native fruits sell for more. And different things can drop from trees, so I've got the coin, which they occasionally drop. Oh, I missed the butterfly, but never mind. And then I've got the sticks, which are used as a crafting material. And it's good to have your net out when you're shaking trees, because you can come across a wasp and they can sting you, which you then have to get medicine for, otherwise you'll faint if you get stung again. So it's always good to have your net out when you're shaking trees, and you just shake them repeatedly to get more items to fall out. So as you can see, it took a couple of extra shakes before the second stick came out. But yes, you can also chop down trees to get wood. So the branches come when you shake them, and wood comes when you chop them. And with the strong axe that I've got, I can only chop 3 times before the tree falls down completely, and it leaves behind a stump, which some bugs like to rest on, but another tree won't grow. So you don't want to chop down all of your trees. So that was the left analog stick drift happening again. But yeah, you don't want to chop down all of your trees, so I try to only chop twice, so I only get 2 pieces of wood, but then the tree will be ready to chop again the next day, which is convenient. And you've also got the beach, so you can see this shell lying there, and also that message in a bottle, and you can see the shadow in the water of a fish. So I'm going to try and catch it. However, there is a lag between the actual game and the TV, which I'm watching it through, so that I can use the game capture. And you've got to be very quick with catching the fish, so this might not work. And you just basically have to wait for the float to go into water like that, and unfortunately I was too late pulling away, because like I said, there is lag where it's running through the game capture. But usually there's a knack to it, and you get pretty good at just pulling up at the right time when you see it drop below the surface. So I'll try again with this little fish. So as again, you're watching for the float, and it dipped below, and then when you see this animation with it swimming in circles, it means you've got it on the hook. So they always do a stupid rhyme whenever you catch a fish. This one said, "I've caught a loach, it's looking at me with reproach." And oops, there's a bug on that flower that I scared away. But you can get up to cliffs by using the ladder. So I'm going to get up and see what's around here. And as you can see, there's a little star-shaped hole in the ground. And what you can do, you can use a shovel to find the buried treasure that's underneath it. So I'm just going to dig up. And this is a fossil. So when you dig things up, one of the most likely things you are to find is a fossil, which is brilliant because they can be given to the museum. And the person who works at the museum is an owl called Blathers, and he can assess the fossils for you to tell you what they are. He sleeps during the day, so he's a sleepy boy. Wakey, wakey, Blathers. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to the museum. Can you please tell me what this fossil is? So I just select it in my inventory, and he will assess it for me. Tell me, Blathers, what have I found? Is it something super exciting and rare? He's excited. He loves assessing fossils. He gets super excited by them. I think I've already donated a saber-toothed tail. I have. So that's fine. So you can only donate items to the museum once, and then after that you're free to sell them. But I've just gone into the butterfly exhibit so that I can show you around. Now I'm not going to go around the whole thing because it's quite large, but you can just basically see a selection of the bugs that I have caught. So there's a beetle sat on that stump there, there's a beetle hopping around there, you can see a bee in the tree. And also for some reason some of the fish are in the butterfly exhibit, so that river has koi swimming around in it. So there's a little koi that's just swum under the bridge there, you've got another butterfly. But yeah, so it's a really pretty museum. I like just sort of walking around it just to see all the beautiful things that I've caught and watch it grow. I'm not going to go into all the rooms just because that would take forever. But I am also going to quickly show you my fish room. So let's go across and see the fish. So as you can see, there's the fish symbol. And here we go. So there's a goldfish in that tank at the front. And I believe this is a sturgeon that I caught here, the rather large one. So it says so on the sign. And then I've got various other fish, so if I just keep clicking through, it will keep telling me whichever everyone is, but I'm not going to keep going. So there's an empty tank, so if the empty tank means I haven't caught that particular fish yet, and it could be just because I haven't found it, or because it needs to be at a different time of year, but it doesn't actually tell you which fish you're missing, it just says to ask for donations. So I'm going to go back to the shop and sell some of the stuff I found, like the fruits and the fish and everything. So hello, they're always so welcoming, but I also want to ask what's hot today, because on any particular day there's a hot item, which means they'll pay twice the usual amount for that item, so it's a good way to earn some extra bells if it's something convenient. And then of course you can sell your items, so I just selected everything including the DIY recipe. And how much are they going to give me? 4,070 bells. So it's not really that much. So basically all of that stuff sold for just more than one of the butterflies from before, because they were super rare butterflies. Now, Nook Miles is one of the things I love about this game, because they can be used to redeem various things, and basically doing different things on the island earns you Nook Miles, which are kind of like a type of currency, and then yeah, you get different challenges each day in the Nook Miles Plus, so these will change each day, and they're just various small activities you can do, whereas the other ones are more like milestones. And Critterpedia is where you can keep track of all the bugs and the fish you have caught so far. So as you can see, I've got plenty of gaps on mine. And one of my Nook Miles things was to catch a dab. So I can go into my Critterpedia, find out more about it. So it's active throughout the day and it's located in the sea. So if I want to catch a dab, I just need to go fishing in the sea, and hopefully I should eventually find one. I've also got a selection of animals outside my house, the ones I particularly like. So I've got some pretty bugs and I've got some butterflies, and I just like having them outside my house on display. I've got these flowers which I planted, and the orange ones kind of grew of their own accord. Oh, what do you want, Benedict? Oops, didn't mean to hit him there. Hello, you're more than welcome, Benedict. I like introducing you to my neighbours and vice versa. Oh, you got a gift for me. Yeah, it's totally not weird. I'm always happy to accept gifts. An iron garden bench. So I'm going to put that back into storage because I want to show you something else really cool. So this is the custom design. So in this game, it lets you make designs out of pixels. So this is the Mario one I designed, which you can see at the front. And I'm going to change my top to this pattern I designed, which I think is quite fun and quirky. And I really like it. So you can design all sorts of different things. So yeah, I'm going to go into my storage now. So I'm going to get a Nook Miles ticket. So this is what you use to go visit Mystery Islands. And on the Mystery Islands, you can catch new bugs and fish. You can dig for fossils. You can get crafting materials. It's really good. So the message in a bottle I found earlier, they have DIY recipes inside them. And then you just have to click on them to learn them. And then next time you go crafting, you'll have the ability to craft it if you've got the right materials for it. So this is a tool garden rock. And one of the Nook Miles milestones is to get lots of DIY recipes. But now I've put everything away in my storage, apart from my tools and my ticket. So I'm going to go to Dodo Airlines, which is where you go if you want to have a journey to a different island. So I'm just going to talk to this guy. Now, I haven't got Nintendo Switch Online, so unfortunately I can't visit my friends. So if I want to go to a different island, I've got a choice between the Nook Miles ticket, which takes me to a mystery island. And I've also met a random guy on my island called Harv, which means I can go to his, but I can't collect anything at his island. It's just kind of like a photo studio thing, so I can go to different settings and have different items. and just do a fun little photo type thing, which is quite exciting. And this game really encourages you to capture memories. And when you do go to Mystery Island, it saves the game because each one's kind of like its own separate thing. And if you leave anything behind, it's gone for good. And anything you find, you bring back, you get to keep it. So they're very much separate things. And I love the little takeoff sound when you go on Dodo Airlines. I think it's really cute how it does the plane noises. And oh, it's raining. I've never actually had rainy weather before. It's always been nice and sunny on my island. So I see a shell there, so I'm going to go around and pick that up. So to be honest, this island looks very similar to mine, so you can get very different islands. I've been on some that have like lots of bamboo, some that have other fruits. So this is a coconut, so I can pick them up and I can either plant them on my own beach back home on my island, or I can sell them at Nook's Cranny. So on all the islands I visited, they all seem to have 4 coconut trees, like one in each corner. There's a fish here, so let's see if I can catch it, but see, I'm worried that like the lag's going to mess up, so usually I do better with fishing. You probably think I'm a terrible fisher, but I'm really not. I caught this one though, so what have we got? A sea butterfly. So I've already caught one of those before, but they're still cute. And I'm going to probably take out my net now, see if I can find some bugs, because I do like catching bugs. But I'm also going to get these cherries because fruit, like I said, they go for 100 each, even though they are my native fruit. It's a shame they didn't have different fruit on this island, but such is life. And now I'm going to shake the tree, see if any branches or anything falls out of them. Also, if a wasp does fall out and I catch it, I believe they sell for like 2,500 each, which is really cool. And I like making money in this game because it means I can keep expanding my house. And I'm going to pick the flowers because, yeah, they're pretty. And I want to sell them to Timmy and Tommy. I don't think flowers actually sell for that much. I didn't bother to find out exactly how much they sell for. But with the rock, I'm going to get my axe out. So, oh, of course, yes. I'm going to get my shovel out so that I can, there's a trick. Because basically, when you hit the rock, you get sort of propelled backwards. But if you have a hole behind you, there's nowhere for you to go. So by putting a hole behind me, it means that I'm less likely to be propelled backwards. And I can hit more times in a row if the drift on my analog stick didn't mess it up. So basically, the more times in a row you hit without having to go backwards, the more items you get out of a rock. So unfortunately, because I did mess up that swing, I get less items. But yeah, you can see I got a few items from it. And if I eat a fruit, I get sort of extra power and I'm able to smash the rock so I can get one more thing out of it. And I don't know if it's just on different islands or if it's just because I've only eaten one at a time, but for some reason my fruit seems to disappear pretty much straight after I eat it. But when I've had like lots of fruit at a time, that hasn't happened, but I haven't tried only one fruit at a time on my own island. So here's another rock, so let's try again to hit it. And you can see that black thing that sort of came out of it, and that is a bug. So sometimes bugs are hiding in rocks and they'll come out when you hit them. So I'm going to pick up all these things, and I'm also going to get my net out ready in a second so that I can catch that bug. So this is a pill bug, I believe, which I don't like in real life. I think they're terrifying, but in the game they're kind of cute. So again, I've got a silly little rhyme thing. And as you can see, that notification popped up in the corner, which means I've got a Nook Miles thing. So on my Nook Miles Plus, one of the tasks I had to do was to catch 5 bugs. And I did that so I get some extra Nook Miles, which I can put towards all sorts of things like new hairstyles, new clothes, and my favourite thing, more Nook Miles tickets to go to new Mystery Islands, because I really do love going to Mystery Islands. So let's see what's up here. So for some reason, I don't know if it's because I've got like the maximum number of residents or what, but on the first 3 Mystery Islands I went to, I found a new residence. That was Cookie, Benedict and Celia, who you met on my island, but I haven't found any since, even though they've all moved in. So I'm not entirely sure why that's happened. Where are you going, little pill bug? You can't go in water. No! I wonder what happened to him, poor little thing. Yeah, so now I'm just going to go about chopping down the trees to get my crafting materials. And oh my gosh, there's a snail down there. Oh wow, I've never had a snail before. This is really exciting. So this is going to give me a chance to use the sneak function. So if you hold A while holding a net, you'll sort of creep up to something and you can just catch it just like that. Oh wow, this is brilliant. I've never caught a snail before, so I'm not sure if they only come out in the rainy weather or what. I'm going to see if it says anything on Critterpedia about my new snail, because I've never found one before. So let's see if it mentions anything about weather. It might not, because I don't think it's too detailed. So let's see what it says. So yeah, it doesn't say anything about it. Apparently it's available throughout the year, but I've never seen one before, so I think it must just come out in the rainy weather. But that's really cool because I can give it to bladders. So I'm just trying a bit more fishing. How's this gonna go? Will we do it? Aha, caught him. Another loach. I really don't like them. They've got stupid little faces. And this. Okay, so when you fill up your inventory, you can swap it with something else. So I've accidentally picked up a few weeds while trying to get flowers. So I'm going to keep the fish instead. And I'm going to use the 14 pole to get back over to the island and essentially just carry on with what I've been doing. So now I've got a full inventory. I'm not really looking for anything I haven't picked up already. So I'm going to try to get more crafting materials like my stones, like my wood, and also picking the flowers because they stack on top of each other in your inventory. Aha, another snail. I'm happy to swap something else for a snail. What will I get rid of? Let's get rid of the pill bug because I've caught them before and they're kind of gross. Alright. I'm ready. And I could have just kept my inventory, but I would... Hey, no! The snail escaped me! That's so sad! Oh my gosh, I lost my snail. Oh, I'm gonna go cry now. I'm gonna destroy the island's ecosystem by chopping down more wood and stuff. But I found another snail, so it's all good. Come with me, snail. Nothing to fear. Gotcha! So yeah, I'm going to keep this one to sell to the shop. I have no idea how much they'll sell for, but maybe they'll be more expensive than others because they're, I guess, rarer because they only come out in certain weather. And again, I've accidentally picked up some more weeds. And I'm just going to go back to my deforestation, get rid of all these trees. And oh no, a wasp nest. So I'm going to quickly try and cycle through to my net and catch them, but I'm too late. So the wasps are going to sting me, and I didn't bring any medicine with me, but it's okay, because basically, when I got stung back on my own island, if you speak to a resident while you're stung, they'll give you a recipe for medicine. So I'm just going to temporarily drop a couple of items so I can get the stuff necessary for the medicine. So I'm also going to drop the cherries, because you don't want to drop any of the bugs or anything, because they get released and you won't be able to pick them back up. And then the medicine requires a wasp nest and 3 clumps of weeds. So I'm going to pick them, and every mystery island you go to has one of those sort of DIY workbench type things. So I'm just going to craft some medicine so that I can use it on my face and be all better, so you can sort of see the list of stuff I can craft. So I'm going to take my medicine, and then my poor little eye will be all better. Look how wonderful it is, I can see. And then I'm just going to go back and pick up the items that I dropped. And I've done pretty much everything on the island, chopped down all the trees, got all the stones. And yeah, I like to double check that I've got everything before I leave. I haven't accidentally dropped my tools, haven't dropped anything of value, which I haven't. And then I just need to speak to Wilbur. I love his voice and I love all the stupid stuff he says. And just let him know that I'm ready to go home. He has such a way with words, it's majestic. So I'm back here. We've got the resident service building you can see on the side, and I accidentally ran through a flower and killed it. So I'm going to be very careful not to run through any more flowers because I don't want to murder them. But I'm back home. I've got plenty of crafting materials, and I've also got the stuff to sell. So basically everything I picked up on the island is only worth 6,680 bells. So as you can see, the 112,000 from before was very much an anomaly. And I'm going to go take my snail to Blathers. Now Blathers really doesn't like bugs, so it's going to be interesting to see what he thinks of my snail, which I think personally is really cute. But let's see what he thinks. So here's a snail, Blathers. Isn't it beautiful? Are you grateful for my donation? Don't call him a wretched thing. Yes, I would like to learn more about it. Face your fear, Blathers. Tell me about it. And that's one of the things I really like about this game, is it does tell you about the animals and stuff you pick up, so you can get some education whilst you're playing the game. And I just find it interesting learning about different things, and I've been really enjoying that. So for now, that's it, Blathers, but I'll be back when I've got more bugs. So yeah, basically my review of this game is I've really enjoyed it. I've only been playing for a few days, and this is actually my first time playing an Animal Crossing game, so there's no like nostalgia or anything for me. And hi Sylvia, and as you can see, she's got the stuff I gave to her, so I've given her a fish in the past, and she's got the butterfly that I gave to her, and yeah, she just... Oh look, she was very confused about why I was in her house. But yeah, I like that there's that continuity of it, like when I give her a gift, it actually shows up in her house. It is kind of grindy, I guess, with getting all the crafting materials, but I think because the animation is so cute, it's just really relaxing. It doesn't feel like bothersome or anything. I just enjoy going around and doing it. So I've got this bridge, which I built, and I got to choose the location for. And all in all, it's just been a really positive game. Is it worth £50? I don't know. But I bought it with my Nintendo eShop voucher, so I was more than happy to pay it. And I guess it is worth £50, but whether you've got the money or not is a different thing. But if you have got £50 spare, it's perfectly worth spending on this game, because quite frankly, it's really cute, it's really fun, it's very sort of relaxing as well, so it's nice to just go through it. There's so many different things to do. So again, I just found that little sort of water spout on the floor, which means there's a clam hiding underneath it. And yeah, there's so much to do. Thanks very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.